कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, ये सब पढ़ने की ज़रूरत है नहीं। अब फेडरल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ये भी आपको पता होगा, ठीक है। बाकी सारे लेकर क्या करेंगे, काउंसिल मॉडल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट तो देख लेते हैं, नया पॉइंट है। द स्विस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन प्रोवाइड्स फॉर नाइदर द ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट नॉर द अमेरिकन प्रेसिडेंशियल सिस्टम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट। इट ऑन द अदर हैंड प्रोवाइड्स फॉर यूनिक सिस्टम ऑफ एग्जीक्यूटिव कॉल्ड ए फेडरल काउंसिल बुंडेसरैट। हाँ, क्या बोल रहा है ये, बुंडेसरैट, व्हिच इज प्लूरल कोलेजियल, ओके। Executive. The features of the Swiss Council model of government are as follows. The Federal Council has 7 members who are elected by the Federal Assembly following each general election to the National Council. The members of the Federal Council are elected for a term of 4 years. Any Swiss citizen eligible for election to the National Council may be elected to the Federal Council. In electing the Federal Council, care must be taken to ensure that the various geographical and language regions of the country are appropriately represented. The President and the Vice President of the Federal Council are elected by the Federal Assembly from the members of the Federal Council for a term of 1 year. Re-election for the following year is not permitted. The President may not be elected Vice President for the following year. The members of the Federal Council act both collectively as well as individually. Collectively, they make all the executive decisions of the federal government, and individually, they act as the heads of the departments of the federal government. All the 7 members of the Federal Council are vested with co-equal authority. The President does not possess any special powers. He or she is only a primus inter pares, first among equals. She acts as nominal head of the Swiss Federal Republic and performs the ceremonial duties. Hence, his or her authority cannot be compared with that of British Prime Minister or the American President. The members of the Federal Council are not the members of the Federal Assembly. However, they participate in the deliberations of the Federal Assembly, but without the right to vote. Further, they cannot be removed from their office by the Federal Assembly, either by passing a motion of no confidence as in the case of British cabinet, or by passing a resolution of impeachment as in the case of the American president. The Federal Council is non-partisan in nature. It is composed of the members who belong to different political parties, but they do not work on party lines. From the above, it is clear that Swiss executive is basically different from both the British executive and the American executive. According to C.F. Strong, the Swiss executive system combines the merits and excludes the defects of both the parliamentary and presidential executive systems. Bicameralism. The Swiss federal legislature, called the Federal Assembly, is bicameral. That is, it consists of 2 houses, namely the Council of States and the National Council. The Council of States is the upper house chamber, and while the National Council is the lower house chamber. The Council of State is composed of 46 representatives of the cantons. The full cantons elect 2 representatives each, while the half cantons elect 1 representative each. This means that the cantons, irrespective of their size and population, are provided equal representation in the Council of States, like that of the American Senate. The cantons determine the rules for the election of their representatives to the Council of States. Hence, the mode of election and the tenure of the representatives to the Council of States varies from canton to canton. In some cantons, they are elected by the cantonal legislatures, while in some other cantons, they are elected directly by the people. Similarly, their tenure also varies from 1 year to 4 years. The National Council is composed of 200 representatives of the people. These representatives are elected directly by the people according to a system of proportional representation. Their term of office is 4 years. The 2 chambers in Switzerland are of equal standing and have equal powers. C.F. Strong, in this context, observed the Swiss legislature, like the Swiss executive, is unique. Swiss बोल क्या होगा, Swiss होगा ना. It is the only legislature in the world that powers of which upper house are in no way different from that of lower house. Direct democracy. The Swiss constitution provides for the operation of the direct democracy and thereby enables the people to directly participate in the affairs of the state. It specifies 2 direct democratic devices, namely referendum and initiative. There are 2 types of referendum, mandatory and optional. Mandatory referendum: the following must be put to the vote of the people and the cantons: amendments to the constitution, accession to organizations for collective security, to supranational communities, emergency federal acts that are not based on a provision of the constitution. The following is submitted to a vote of the people: popular initiatives for a total division of the constitution, popular initiatives for a partial revision of the constitution in the form of a general proposal that have been rejected by the Federal Assembly. The question of whether a total revision of the constitution should be carried out in the event that there is disagreement between the 2 chambers of the Federal Assembly. Optional referendum: if 50,000 voters or 8 cantons request it, the following are submitted to a vote of the people: federal acts, emergency federal acts which term of validity exceeds 1 year, federal decrees if the constitution or an act so requires, international treaties of specified categories under the constitution. The device of initiative is allowed. तो यहाँ पे देखो डायरेक्ट डेमोक्रेसी है स्विस में, ठीक है, स्विट्जरलैंड. At the federal level, only in the स्विस मतलब स्विट्जरलैंड है क्या क्या पढ़ा हमने पहले, यस स्विट्जरलैंड नॉट स्वीडन। नॉट इन द केस ऑफ फेडरल लॉज और इंटरनेशनल ट्रेडीज। देन देखो एनी 10th 1 लाख वोटर्स में प्रपोज अ टोटल डिवीजन ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। सिमिलरली एनी 1 लाख वोटर्स में रिक्वेस्ट अ पार्शियल डिवीजन ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। ए पॉपुलर इनिशिएटिव फॉर द पार्शियल डिवीजन ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में टेक द फॉर्म ऑफ ए जनरल प्रपोजल अनफॉर्मुलेटिव इनिशिएटिव। तो बेसिकली ये पर डायरेक्ट डेमोक्रेसी है, पीपल डायरेक्टली पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं, बहुत अच्छी बात है। और देखो यहाँ पर ट्रिपल सिटीजनशिप है, डबल होती है भाई, डुअल होता है, हमारा तो यहाँ पर सिंगल है, अमेरिका में डुअल है, बट यहाँ पर ट्रिपल सिटीजनशिप है। अंडर द स्विस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन द सिटीजनशिप इज थ्री फोल्ड, दैट सिटीजनशिप ऑफ द कॉम्यून, म्यूनिसिपैलिटी, द कैंटन एंड द फेडरेशन। द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डिक्लेयर्स दैट एनी पर्सन हु इज अ सिटीजन ऑफ कॉम्यून एंड ऑफ द कैंटन टू व्हिच द कॉम्यून दैट कॉम्यून बिलोंग्स इज अ स्विस सिटीजन। This means that no person can be a citizen of Switzerland without being a citizen of a canton, and no person can be a citizen of a canton without being a citizen of a commune. In Switzerland, the communal citizenship is regarded as more valuable than the cantonal and federal citizenship. Then फंडामेंटल राइट्स, द स्विस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कंटेन्स एन एलाबोरेट लिस्ट ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट्स ऑफ सिटीजन। तो यहाँ पर भी फंडामेंटल राइट दिए गए हैं बहुत सारे, यहाँ पर ये वाला है लिस्ट दिया गया है। अब देखो सोशल गोल्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट, द स्विस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इन एडिशन टू द फंडामेंटल राइट्स ऑफ द सिटीजन ऑल्सो कंटेन्स द लिस्ट ऑफ सोशल गोल्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट। द फेडरल, अच्छा तो फंडामेंटल राइट्स के पास सोशल गोल्स है, नॉट फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज, बट सोशल गोल्स है। द फेडरल एंड कैंटोनल गवर्नमेंट शैल एंडिवर टू अचीव दीज सोशल गोल्स विद इन द स्कोप ऑफ देयर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पावर्स एंड द रिसोर्सेज अवेलेबल टू देम, बट नो डायरेक्ट राइट टू स्टेट बेनिफिट्स में be established on the basis of these social goals. These are as follows: to ensure that every person has access to social security and the health care, to ensure that families are protected and encouraged as communities of adults and children, to ensure that every person can earn their living by working under fair conditions, to ensure that every person can find suitable accommodation, to ensure that children and young people can obtain education and undergo training, to ensure that children and young people are supported in their social, cultural and political integration, to ensure that every person is protected against the economic consequences of old age, invalidity, illness, accident, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, मैटर्निटी, बिंग ऑर्फेंड एंड बिंग विडोड। तो ये सब इसका सोशल गोल्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट है। काफ़ी अच्छी बात है, देखो नया चीज़ है, मतलब पहली बार मिला, बाकी किसी भी कंट्री के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में नहीं था ये। तो सोशल गोल्स ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट स्विस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में है, और ये ट्रिपल सिटीजनशिप की बात करते हैं, काफ़ी यूनिक है ना। तो यहाँ पर ये जो चैप्टर था ख़त्म हो रहा है, और इसी के साथ आज का वीडियो हम स्टॉप करेंगे। थैंक यू।